I'm John and welcome back to my Lair of Action Figures. So today's episode 42 of this week in action figure news, and of course it's going to be mostly focused on G.I. Joe because this is what we got. So of course I'm going to be talking about the products we will revealed on the 10th of June, and also I will be doing more of a speculative and going on to what we know should be coming for the last two episodes. And of course, there's some other news because Inart decided to release a T-800 endoskeleton from the first Terminator movie, and I'm going to talk about it, and this is what I'm going to start about. So without further ado, let's jump into this week in action figure news. So this is the T-800 endoskeleton done by Inart Toys. So of course, as you can see, there's some parts are going to be die cast. So does it compare? How does it work with the one that Hot Toys is coming out? And that's what I'm going to be talking about. Let me know in the comment section. Did you pre-order the Hot Toys or are you planning to pre-order this one? So maybe you might get some more insight after I've talked about it. So of course, they're talking about the different parts. As you can see, what's in red, this is what's going to be die cast. Then they're talking about the hands. And they decided to do something of a bit interesting over here. And this must be plastic because it doesn't seem to be die cast by what I can see, and they're deciding to give the articulations to the fingers so you can move them around, which is a nice little feature that Hot Toys didn't go for. But again, this comes with its complication because this is pretty fragile, and Hot Toys did it in the past when they went for plastic with it, and they do have the articulations, and this is something that you may want to be careful of because this can break pretty easily. Let's continue and have a look at some of the other features from this endoskeleton. So of course we have LED batteries over here. So of course people are outraged because of the fact that they didn't go with USB, and yeah, I don't understand because Hot Toys didn't go either with the USB plug. It's also battery operated. I guess it's an easier way to do it due to the fact that the way the endoskeleton is built, it's a lot easier to do. And as you can see, he has his fist closed over here. So this is exactly what I was talking about. And of course, they're talking about the different features. So I guess you're going to press on the button, the lights turn on, and it does make a lot of sense because putting a USB plug in over here would have made it very complicated and maybe made it not so aesthetic. So I do understand why both companies decided to go with the battery operated on this figure. So let's have a look. So here's some more posing. As you can see, you can put him on his knees. The figure does look a bit out of proportion, but afterwards I will have to take my endoskeleton, who's wrapped up somewhere in one of the boxes, to have a look. But again, it's an interesting feature, and of course this figure is going for $435. And as you can see, this is everything that you get with it. I'm kind of curious to know what this is. The neighbor was not able to see. It looks like the stand seems to have a plug-in somewhere around over here. So again, interesting, not interesting, I don't know. I do find it a little bit weak on the number of features that it does have, and also, like I said, there's certain parts of it, the figure itself looks the proportion totally out of proportion. Sorry about that. And you can see already the fingers over here. There's no way that this would fit a human hand. So if you really think about it, if there was flesh over it and you would have to have this would look like he had giant hands. Anyway, $435 versus $400 for this one from Hot Toys. Now, of course, people say, yeah, but John, this is T2. Well, yeah, I do agree that it's T2, but this is $400. This is $35 less, and you get this L-shaped weapon over here, and I do think that they should have thrown in. Now, I understand that somebody pointed out, well, he does not have any weapons in the first movie, so it does not make sense. But technically, if you really go into it and you want to be nitpicky, yes, there's a T-800 infiltrating the base in the future, going around with a Gatling gun, a laser Gatling gun. So of course they could have put it in. I mean, this would have been a nice feature. And I must say that I do have a little preference for the diorama base on the Hot Toy one than the one that Inart is doing. The fact that you have two possibilities to pose in battle damage, not battle damage. The fact that the hands are molded and that you can put them in as being die cast is going to be a lot of me pushing towards Hot Toys on this one. So yeah, I think Hot Toys is the winner, and if you haven't pre-ordered this one, I strongly suggest that you go with the Hot Toys one. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with me on this assumption. Now, last part of this video, I'm going to be talking about it, and I'll be moving to Yojo June, and of course, what are we waiting for? I do not understand the policy behind Inart, and I think they did a very stupid move. Now, if you want to go up, put up a figure that Hot Toys still has on pre-order that is still available, you should not do it. Do not go onto it. You should have gone on to bringing this T8-100 that you're doing, on the basics that this one is sold out, so the aftermarket prices are going to go up, and the people who wanted a T800 from you would have gone for it, or the ones who missed out on the Hot Toy ones will go out. The fact that you have 2 times the same figures does not make really much sense in the way you released it, and I think you should have waited for this one to be sold out. Anyway, that's my point of view if I would be running a business, but again, everybody does how it wants, but it does not make sense that you have 2 times the same figure, or basically a same figure on the market in the same price range. Does not make sense to do it. It is counterproductive. Now let's move on to G.I. Joe. So I should have more finished than saying G.I. Joe will return after a few messages. So yes, Yojo June 10 is the second episode that came out, and I must say I was a little bit disappointed. I understand that they talked about the comics, but kind of talked about it and said, well, if you want to watch it, we move on, because if you're not interested, we're going to go into it. So of course I found it a little bit less interesting, and again I think there's a lot of inconsistencies in the way that Hasbro is running the panel. But again, they give us some pretty good reveals. So of course we got the Vamp with the MK2 version of it, with the Tan version of course the Vamp, and of course also goes for the same for Clutch. Now it seems that they're focusing a lot on the desert. Then of course we got the one of the original 13 figures, and that's of course the Hall with the high artillery laser rifle gun, whatever it's called. I'm totally missed out, but we get it. It's pretty cool. Then you can attach it to the Hall, so it does make it interesting. Now, of course, if you're a fan and you grew up like me in Europe and you had the Action Force version, you would like to see the red laser with this one painted in red. Then we are going into some little extra figure that was announced, and of course this is Action Man. So Action Man does have a little issue that I've pointed out, and Hasbro hasn't gotten back or has answered any of the post that I did regarding it, because as you can see, you have Wekendo's weapon. You have a few in the promotion pictures that they did. Does have the rifle over here, who's a kind of M14 version of the gun, so of course, but when you see the product over here, who's the final product with everything that you should be getting in the box, this rifle is not there. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame that they decided to go for it and didn't do it. Again, I'll be kind of curious to see if they're going to add it or pass over it and not say anything at all. Talking about some other mistakes, we have Gem and Cold Slither seem to be teaming up, so I'm wondering if they're going to be talking about that in the 2 last episodes. And a little mistake, I guess everybody can do it. I do it also, but it's very funny. Gem theme song featuring, and not fitting, Cold Slither. I mean, Hasbro seems to be pushing out, I don't know if it's because of the transfer or is there something going on behind? But it looks like people seem to be very rushing out these promotions and are not really taking the care that they should about it. So let's have a look at what I believe should be coming. Of course, there's two digital renders that I'm going to be talking about before going into what we should be expecting. But again, it looks like we have 1 week digital renders, then the next time you get them up for pre-order. So of course, in the Legacy Collection, we have this Search and Rescue mountain character. Now I did my thoughts about it, but again, I'm still going to come out on this figure. Does not make sense. He should not have a taser. This is totally BS. The flare gun could make it work. Over here, the gear does come out, and again, we have a cross between Doc and of course Snow Job. And the thing who's totally unrealistic is the fact that he would have night vision goggles. That would not happen at all. The only good part is you can maybe collect those night vision goggles to put it on the special force guys or the regular basic infantry guy who could be also a special force. Now of course, continuing with the digital renders, we have of course Sandstorm and Dusty. Now of course, this is going into the desert themes. Of course, this is going to be interesting to see what else that they're coming out with. And of course, this is something that was kind of expected from a lot of people that they would be doing it. I did a full review talking about the mask, who's an Easter egg for the 12-inch figure that they released back in the day. So of course, this is the Dusty V3, even if I do consider it more as a V2, but I can understand that the Tiger Force version of Dusty, who's just a repaint of the V1 version, is going to be the one who has the V2 title. So this is what we got. Like I said, I was very disappointed. I was hoping to see a bit more, and I always find it very weird, and this is where I think that Hasbro has a problem with consistency. I'm going to be talking about it and making a full video about all the little problems. Now, if you're doing a video, you're going to know that how does it work? Well, you're going to have digital renders, you're going to have products who are going to go for pre-orders, and then you should have a name drop. This is basically the way the file card, or the way that they're doing it, and this is the schematics of the video. But on this one, there was no name reveal, so we're going to have name reveals on the next one. Try to keep your format in the same way, and always go with the same thing. You reveal a product, you say to go in for pre-order, you give us digital renders, and you can name drop some stuff at the end. It's not very important, because it's going to give some hype to the fans and give the possibilities. So the fact of changing the format of your videos and not going into a certain what people are expecting you to do can be and is disappointing for me. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or not agree with it. So now that we got this out, let's go on to the last part of the video, who's going to be what do I believe is coming up for the two last episodes of YoJoe June 2026. So let's get into the last part of the video, and of course this is what we know is coming. So of course, picked up this picture on YoJoe.com. So of course we know Iceberg is coming. The name drop was done. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't revealed this figure, and I'll be kind of curious to see what they're going to be doing. More of the other G.I. Joe figures that we know that will be coming. We have this guy over here who had a digital render, and of course it's a snow trooper to go with these stealth brigade troopers to go with, of course, the G.I. Joe Snowcat. This is not the only figure that we haven't seen yet, and I'm surprised that it hasn't gone up for pre-order now. Of course, we have the Night Viper over here. Also, again, I give you my full thoughts about this figure. I think for a winter version of this figure, it is not very good. Same goes for the next one over here, where we have a little bit of reused bits and pieces for it. It does not really make sense, the fact that they have no snow equipment, and the fact that you can see his face over here and he doesn't have a balaclava or something to protect him from the intense cold does not make much sense. But again, this is how Hasbro does some very cheap and easy remakes of figures, but again, you could have put a balaclava, you have those heads. This is nothing new over here, but these are the figures that we haven't seen yet. Then talking about other figures who were revealed, so we have Miss Armada, who's from the Iron Grenadiers, from Destro, from the comic book. So this one hasn't come out yet. Then we have the Toxo Viper, who was also name dropped back in the Hasbro Pulse fan stream. Then we also had Sideshow, who was also there. Now we know that Sideshow is going to be the Night Force version, so that means it's going to be a Walmart exclusive. Hopefully, it's going to be I will be able to pick it up on Hasbro Pulse US, because I cannot order anymore from Walmart because of some modifications that they have done to their ordering. I have to have a US number. I don't have a US number to confirm that it's me, so sadly I cannot order anything more from them. But this is what we should be getting. Then also we have Tomb Raider X G.I. Joe. Haven't talked about it, so are we getting a figure for the 30th anniversary of Tomb Raider? It's going to be very interesting. Another figure that was name dropped, and I took this picture from the Fandom G.I. Joe website, it is a Rugged Duke. So this is the one from the comic book, from the Energon. So I'm kind of wondering what it's going to be. So these are all the figures that we should be getting because they were already announced. So this is everything that should be there. Should we be getting some more stuff? Yeah, I guess we should be, because it's logic. We should have some more digital renders. We should have some name drops. And of course, I've been seeing some videos going up about why is HasLab not doing some 2026. Well, there's two reasons that I see who are obvious around it. Hasbro has been giving us a lot of vehicles. Currently, we have the Hall right now. We have the Mark II Vamp who's coming out, and of course, at the end of the year, we have the His Tank, who for me is going to be a bit of a disaster, because I guess there might be some people who might be cancelling, or maybe not cancelling, we will see. But having so many vehicles and not have asked for a single deposit is going to be something that Hasbro may want to watch out, because some people may not want to buy those multiple orders that they did. So I guess this is also one of the reasons why. The second part of why I don't think there's going to, why Hasbro didn't decide to go with a HasLab this year. Well, that's going to be pretty easy. We haven't seen anything, and I'm wondering the fact that they're moving to close to Boston or in Boston is going to be one of the other major reasons why they haven't done anything. They haven't announced anything for Marvel, nor they did for Star Wars. So maybe it's a bit of a break, and that's the reason why we didn't get anything into it, and we'll be getting something in 2027. So I do feel pretty good about the fact that they're not going down. There's a lot of money to be put out there. There's going to be some more stuff coming before the end of the year, and I guess they want to be sure that people pick up their winter His Tank so that they don't miss out on it. So let me know what you think about it. What other figures, maybe did I forget something on some of the name drops they did and they haven't revealed them, and they should be coming in the last 2 episodes of Yojo June? Let me know in the comment section. Let me also know if you agree with my assessment on this situation. Do you think my 2026 HasLab predictions, why they didn't do it, is correct or not? Let me know in the comment section, and let's start a conversation around our favorite hobby. So that's going to be it for this week in Action Figure News episode 42, and also my predictions for the last 2 episodes of Yojo June 2026. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section. If you have any suggestions, let me know also. And of course, if you're watching this on Sunday, I wish you have a fantastic Sunday. If you're watching this on another day of the week, I wish you have a fantastic day. And like always, I will see you in my next video. Also, don't forget to go and check out my Facebook page, Instagram page. The links are in the description. So until then, bye.